I'm Dr. Anthony Harper here, blessed to be in Jerusalem with MK Ohad Tal here in the Knesset building, and it's great to have you join me.
Welcome. Great to have you.
It's such a blessing to be here, and there are a lot of the issues that you get to address about what's been going on about Israel's security. What is your top concern that you would like to share about Israel and what's been happening with the changes?
Yeah.
Recently.
So first of all, you spoke about changes, and I think what we've seen in the past 14 months is unbelievable change, because 14 months ago we were experiencing the most devastating day we've experienced since the Holocaust, with the massacre of so many of our family members, with the kidnapping of hundreds of people, and that was devastating. We were actually fighting for our survival, and look at what happened. 14 months later, this evil alliance headed by Iran, with all their proxies surrounding Israel with a ring of fire, is basically losing. We've seen what happened to Hamas in Gaza, almost completely defeated, almost, not yet, but almost. We've all seen what happened to the strongest arm of tentacle of that octopus, Hezbollah, losing all its command, all chain of command, 80%, over 80% of its ammunition, losing all its strength. What happened now in Syria, the fall of the Assad regime, that's horrible. Like, after Iran spent billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars in the last decades in building this alliance, I have reasons to believe that the Houthis in Yemen are also gonna experience some damages in the next couple of weeks and months. So, and also Iran themselves, which were struck by Israel and lost a lot of their capabilities. So we are seeing a change, a complete flip in their reality. We are not just fighting for our survival any longer. Now the Iranian regime is struggling to survive. And I think we should all hope and work very hard to make sure that this evil regime will not succeed and will not survive.
Well, with the rebels, taking over Syria, with Assad now out of the picture, I know he's back he's back to Russia. So with the rebels, what's the threat for Israel? How comfortable is Israel leadership about the rebels being in power there?
First of all, we have to be very clear. The rebels are not angels. We are not replacing here a Satan with an angel. Okay, the rebels are led by groups of very fundamental Muslims, Sunni Muslims. They're not Shiite anymore. Now they're Muslim. They're Sunni, but led by Turkey, which also has one goal, and that is to destroy Israel and to become, to go back to become a superpower, as Erdogan thinks that he's a Khalif and he wants to be emperor. So we should be very careful with that. The current leader of Syria, of the rebels, he's ISIS. Have no mistakes. He's ISIS 100%. Is a very dangerous person. He will speak very nicely. I believe that he will speak very nicely to try and please the West, to try and make them hear what they want to hear. But we should not be fooled by that. He has fundamental plans, and we should not allow that to succeed also.
So who is the leader for the rebels?
He is now the leader of the rebels. His name is, he called himself Julani, after the name of the Golan, referring to his desire to expand his control on what they call Balad Sham, which basically is the whole area of Syria, Jordan, and Israel. This is what they want to do, to seize control of all these places. They're already talking, and Erdogan himself was basically sponsoring the rebels and pushing them and giving them the supplies. He is already talking about going back to Jerusalem and to seize Jerusalem. This is what he's planning to do. And of course, Israel will not allow our enemies, it doesn't matter if they're Muslim Sunni or Shiite to destroy Israel and to take control over Jerusalem. It's not going to happen.
Well, how do you see President Trump's return to the White House, his impact in the security of Israel?
Well, I think, if you would have checked before the elections here in Israel, what the vast majority of the people here are saying and thinking about who's best, who would they support going to the White House, you would discover that over 70% of Israel's population supported Trump, and only around 15% supported Kamala Harris. So Israel is 100% a red state. Okay, I don't think you have red states in your country like do. Israel. Mm-hmm. But this is what is happening here. So we are very happy that Trump is going back to the White House. I think the fact that the leader of the free world today, or the Trump was going back to be the leader of the free world, knows to differentiate between good and evil. This is something we didn't have before with the Biden administration, who sanctioned Israelis, who was withholding ammunition from Israel while we were fighting for our survival. This is not something you would do to your closest ally whilst fighting for its survival. This is not something you would do. So I think, yes, unfortunately, we all want to be bipartisan, but the fact that the Democratic Party today became so radical, or joining forces with the most radical elements within it, the woke and the progressive approach, which doesn't differentiate good and evil, that's a serious threat, not just to Israel, also to America, and also to the safety and security of the world itself, because that's a serious. When you don't know to differentiate good and evil, then the evil use that, and again, we are just the forefront of what they want to accomplish. They want to destroy America even more than they want to destroy Israel. We are just the forefront of that.
So what would be your final comment you'd like to make to the evangelical Christian community in the U.S. has helped make a difference for the election?
First of all, I'd like to thank our brothers and sisters in America, the evangelical Christians who are standing for the same values that we are fighting for, because at the end of the day, this is the same struggle. We have the same struggle, the same fight. We are fighting on two forces. One is the radical fundamentalist Muslims, and on the other hand, it's the progressive woke movement, who basically, these radicalists, they're joining forces in order to destroy our Judeo-Christian values. This is what they're trying to do. And I think, by the way, the Trump victory is not just a very significant political victory. I think it's important because it symbolizes that this is a victory of those who sanctify the nation, the we, against those who sanctify the individual, the I. Okay, and this is what we've seen from Kamala Harris and from this progressive, who basically trying to say that the most important thing is the individual. That's the most sacred thing. And this is why there's no importance to family, to borders, to the nation. What I want is the most important and the most holy thing. And that is not the case. We don't believe that. We believe there's an importance to family, to nations. And this is what Trump represents. And 76 million Americans stood with that. And I don't think that would have been possible without the evangelical Christians in America fighting for that day and night. And this is why we are in the same struggle together.
Well, thank you for sharing these concerns and the insight about this matter. And many evangelical Christians are praying for all of Israel.
Thank you.
Pray for protection, and thank you for it.
We appreciate that. We do not take your friendship for granted. And please God, we are also praying that we will see great things coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great to be here in Israel with MK Ohad Tal.